Here's a powerful way to take your sales process and improve it to close up to 35% more deals. Break down the selling process into 4 steps and do them in this order, and don't work from one to the other until you finish these 4 steps. The steps are meet and greet, qualify, present product, and close. Let's take a look at them. First thing you want to do with a client is establish a rapport. You don't want to barge into selling or presenting product or saying how great you are until you've established some type of basic relationship with that person. If it's by phone, at least exchange names so that person knows who you are and you know who they are. If it's an in-person sales presentation, maybe it's a little more personal. Maybe it's a small talk about the weather or about the environment or even what the scenario is in that showroom or selling environment. Make sure you at least have that connection so it's not just a random person, it's somebody they have some familiarity with. Then you can start with qualifying. Qualifying doesn't mean seeing if the person is qualified to buy something. It's understanding what their needs are, understanding what brought them to your world that day, what made them pick up the phone and call, what made them walk into your showroom, what made them visit your company, even if it's online. If you understand what that motivation was, you'll know why today is different than the day before. In most cases, whatever you're selling, that person has thought about buying it for some period of time earlier than the last 30 seconds. But they only picked up the phone right now. They only walked into your showroom right now. There's something different about today that made them take that action versus last week when they were thinking about buying but didn't take action yet. Understanding what that motivation is and what really they're trying to accomplish is crucially important before you go into step 3, which is presenting the product. Look, I'd imagine that you have dozens of things that you can say that are very positive about the product or service you offer. You can talk about certifications, about quality, about price, about many, many things about what makes your business, your product, your company better than anybody else. How many of those do you think are really going to be important to your particular customer you're talking to? Maybe a handful. So if you don't know which 5 or 6 things are going to be really impactful to the person you're talking to, you're going to be flying blind. So before you present product, make sure you totally understand what that customer is trying to accomplish in terms of solving a problem, improving their life, or meeting a dream that they have. Then you can go to step 3, which is presenting the product. This is what everybody loves to do. Most people actually confuse selling, presenting product, with closing. Sales is a matter of going through these steps and actually getting the result at the end, which is a completed deal. Presenting the product is the easy thing. A brochure can do that. You know your product, you know the features, you can talk about it all day long. Don't jump to that step until you've established a rapport, understand that customer's needs, and then present the product. But you're not done yet. Because if you do all those 3 steps very well, but don't walk away from a sale, your time and the customer's time was both wasted. And you don't have anything to show for it. More importantly, the customer doesn't have the need that they're looking to meet completed that day. They have to start all over again with somebody else. So really, you let that customer down as much as you let yourself down in not making the sale. Make sure that if you really care about the customer and you believe in your product, that you do everything you can do to get that customer connected to it and complete that sale before they leave or get off the phone with you. And that's step 4. That's closing the sale. It starts with asking for the order. Don't just present the product and wait for them to buy. People need direction. They want you to tell them it's okay, and they want you to ask them to take action. So once you do that, don't expect that the first answer is going to be, yes, here's my money. They may have some questions. They may have objections. They may have concerns that maybe weren't met in the product presentation. That's okay. You want to go back and ask those things again, deal with those questions, maybe go back and requalify a little bit, but don't mistake the fact that there's an objection with not making a sale. Stick after it. Make sure you close the deal. Find out every possible reason that is standing between you and getting that deal done, because otherwise the last hour, 45 minutes, even if it's a 5-minute phone call, was wasted time on your part and the customer's part. Many customers are going to tell you they're going to come back, they'll call you back. You all know that customers usually never come back. You have your one shot in selling them while they're in front of you, while they're on the phone. Make that time count and make that deal happen. Remember that price is poison. If you go to price too fast, then that's all you'll have to talk about. Sometimes a customer will try to force the conversation towards price because that's all they know to talk about. They don't know about your product. They don't know how good it is, so they're just going to ask you for a price. If you only talk about price, that's the only thing that's going to seem important to the customer, and they're going to think that if all things are being equal, if it's cheaper somewhere else, that's what they should buy. You know better than that. You know that it's not about price. The client wants to trust you to walk them through this process. Don't believe that they want to handle it themselves. Most people want to put their trust in somebody else and let them do all the work and help them, which is what you're there for and what you get paid for as a professional salesperson.